And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Before we do get into today's video, as always, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. So I hope you guys are all okay. We've got a lot to go through in today's video. Of course, Celtic are back in action this Sunday. So we're going to discuss the build-up to that match. As well, we've got some big transfer news to go over. Of course, we are still very much in the transfer window right now. We've got another about 2 weeks left before that closes. So hoping Celtic can make some deals happen from certain positions on the pitch we need to improve upon. But today's transfer news is with regards to an outgoing and a massive U-turn. So we'll discuss that in just a moment. But I want to go through pictures that have emerged today of Celtic's training session as they do prepare for the cup match against Hibs this Sunday. And two players in particular are the talking points of this because they are missing from the training session, or they weren't pictured in the training session. That being Kyogo, of course, who picked up a shoulder injury against Hibs last weekend, and we had concerns about him being fit for this weekend. He wasn't pictured today in training, and that also being Alistair Johnston. Now, Alistair Johnston's a little bit more surprising, I suppose, because of course, last match against Hibs, he was substituted off with 10 minutes to go, and it looked like he did pick up a knock during that game as well. So, of course, it looks like Anthony Ralston will be starting against Hibs this Sunday as his replacement. Of course, not an ideal situation. Alistair Johnston's been a great servant for Celtic for the years that he's been here, and he's definitely our starting right back. Ralston can do a good job for us, but of course, he's not up to the quality of what Johnston is. As well as Kyogo as well, definitely good that we got Adam Ider in the team now because it looks like Kyogo won't be fit. Of course, this isn't guaranteed. Of course, they may be in training, but they weren't pictured. But speculation is suggesting that they aren't training today with the first team due to those injuries that they picked up last match. So a little bit concerning, I suppose, but definitely good news that, of course, now we've got Adam Ider at our disposal to use for this weekend, and hopefully he's fit and available for the Hibs game. Of course, you may still see Kyogo featured. You may still see Alistair Johnston featured. But it looks like at the moment, as things stand, they won't start the match due to them not being pictured in training. So yeah, that's a little bit of a blow there for this game against Hibs. But I'm still very confident going into that match. And hopefully we can get a result in this game and avoid being knocked out of the cup early on this season. But the main story of today is with regards to that man again, Matt O'Reilly, of course, because speculation all summer has been linking him with a move away to certain clubs, Premier League clubs, Italian clubs, Spanish clubs. Everywhere across Europe, a lot of teams are interested in O'Reilly. Now, we mentioned in the last few videos when we did an update on his situation that two of the teams that were interested in him previously, Brighton and Hove Albion and Southampton, both in the Premier League, it seems like they have now pulled out the race to sign him. Of course, we spoke out how Brighton had to turn their attention elsewhere with some other player for a similar evaluation of Matt O'Reilly. And we looked at Southampton, Russell Martin had appeared that he said, look, we're not going to go after Matt O'Reilly, we're going to look elsewhere for someone else. And it now appears the team that were the front runners in the Matt O'Reilly transfer dealings, Atalanta, have now also pulled out the race to sign Matt O'Reilly, which is a massive, massive transfer U-turn here because we thought, he was very much on his way to Atalanta at some point. They put 5 bids in for him, still failed to reach Celtic's valuation for the Danish midfielder. I don't see why teams were struggling to comprehend £25 million or struggling to pay £25 million for Matt O'Reilly. It seemed very bizarre. Atalanta's last bid was £21.5 million, which is still very much below our asking price. So I'll tell you why it looks like Atalanta have pulled out the race to sign him. It's because they have now shifted their focus to Udinese's attacking midfielder, Lazar Samardzic. So they had 5 bids in for Matt O'Reilly throughout this transfer window. They had not met Celtic's valuation. It said that any offer would have to exceed £25 million before Celtic even consider selling him. And the Serie A club now appears close to securing Samardzic. This signing becomes more likely with Juventus poised to finalise a deal for Atalanta's teen Cooper minors, prompting Atalanta to find a replacement. Now, this is reported by Fabrizio Romano. So the entrance of Samardzic could effectively end Atalanta's chase for O'Reilly, as doubling down on attacking midfielders this late in the transfer window seems impractical. So Brighton have moved on and so have Southampton. So really the only club still 1 foot in the race was Atletico Madrid. But of course they are still very much focused on bringing Conor Gallagher to Madrid rather than looking at O'Reilly. So of course they tried in January this year to try and sign him Celtic rejected any approach for him, and O'Reilly was happy to stay at the club, despite how big Atletico Madrid are. And it now appears they're the only team that could still potentially be interested, but even they have got their priorities elsewhere with Conor Gallagher. So it actually looks like right now, as things stand, Matt O'Reilly looks more than likely he'll stay at Celtic this transfer window and this season. And again, the guy seems very much happy with that, and he seems like he's very much focused on Celtic and the mission at hand, which is, of course, to do well in Europe and win the league title and all the domestic trophies. So this is massive, massive news. This feels like this is better than any new signing we could have had if Matt O'Reilly stays at the club, in my opinion. It almost felt like there's a cloud over us that, we know Matt O'Reilly's going to leave this transfer window. If we can come out this transfer window and he still be at the club, that is a massive, massive boost to the team and the squad as a whole. He's the best player in the league, best player in the country for sure. And if he could be at the club for this season, massive, 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 massive boost to the team. I can't comprehend it enough how big it is for Celtic. I'm sure you guys all know that as well, of course. But yeah, it's very weird how this has kind of turned out. I'm so surprised no team was willing to pay £25 million for O'Reilly. It seems so bizarre. Such a good deal, and they still wouldn't pay that fee. Really, really weird. He's 23 years old. He's not reached his peak whatsoever right now, and I think he's probably more focused on actually another good year at Celtic, and even bigger teams were after me as well. Of course, we spoke how Chelsea were interested at one point, not really likely now. But yeah, Brighton and Southampton, yeah, good teams, but nowhere near as big as Celtic, so that probably wouldn't be too much on his mind. Of course, Atalanta, they are in Champions League football, and of course, Atletico Madrid are a massive team. So they are more concerning with the Spanish and Italian side, but I'm glad their attention is shifted elsewhere right now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this, guys. Of course, as we are playing this Sunday as well, I want to know your score predictions for that match. I do think it's going to be another win in the Cup. I think it's going to be... I'm going to go for a 2... Actually, I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Celtic. We, of course, have back-to-back clean sheets right now, which is a good start for Kasper Schmeichel. Looking pretty solid in that position. And I think there's still a few areas in the pitch we need to improve upon, of course, come the end of the transfer window. So if any news comes to fray with regards to a centre-half or a right winger, we'll keep you updated on that situation. But as things stand right now, this Matt O'Reilly's transfer saga is getting pretty crazy. And if he can stay at Celtic, it does feel like a brand new signing. Actually, it's a better feeling than a new signing, because we know how good he is and how good he's going to be for us this season, how important he's going to be for us if he does stay. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video. As always, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, of course. We'll keep up to date with all the Celtic transfer news for the rest of these 2 weeks in the transfer window. And make sure you do like the video if you have enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.